doubting Anti-Mage because of the ability of the opponent just kind of group up as 5. The question is whether or not OG can prolong this game long enough, because Anti-Mage will be able to kind of just blink around the map at will. There's really no way to kill him, so I think they'll do a better job this game. Anti-Mage will capitalize on a bit of space much more than Spectre.
Okay.
But I don't know. I'm not too confident now after watching game 2 with Hellbear Smashers.
If we take it back to the lanes, because that's where the Hellbear Smashers looked good in all of the games, are they set up for success there again?
What, they've got Underlord, Dark Willow against AM, Warlock.
Yeah.
AM's
just like a
AM's going to be fine because he's got Warlock in that. Troll matchup against Invoker, I have to imagine, is going to be okay for Invoker. He's going to be able to rotate a lot more. Like, if lanes go kind of okay for him, like, the Invoker can have a huge impact around the map, whereas I don't see, like, the rotation power of OG. Like, what do their supports do in that regard?
Moves.
Warlock,
Literally
Shadow Demon, like, none of those heroes have an impact. I think Stormer carries this game, honestly.
I think he could. Yeah.
It's going to be too greedy, I guess, for OG, you'd call it, because they can't move.
Yeah, just in terms of stationary, I think Invoker's going to be the one guy that leaves his lane.
Yep.
Okay.
First, like, 10 minutes.
Can Stormer do it for his team? Will the Hellbear Smashers take the first series of their second season of DPC? We're going to find out together with Moxie and Fogged.
All right, Fogged, we've got a little bit of an unconventional mid lane here now that we have that troll. But I have a question for you, because I was looking up shards, and I took a look at the Arc Warden shard. How common do you think this is going to be? Is this something that we're going to see picked up? Because it sounds interesting, right?
Back to hell.
Yeah, I think it sounds interesting in practice, or in theory, but I think in practice, it's maybe just weird. I don't know, actually. I haven't seen too much Arc Warden, so maybe we do get blessed with it, and I hope to learn quite a bit about Arc Warden, because Ace is one of those specialists. You know, this is one of his most played heroes. At one point, he was spamming all the micro heroes, we always called it, for Ace. His Meepos, his Arc Warden, Broodmother, etc. He did love to play, and the cheese heroes. He loved playing Huskar and Arc Warden and stuff like that. So I hope to learn something, because I'm not sure how this hero fits right now. It's not been doing so well in DPC either. I think it's like 4, not.
I believe Fogged is underwater now. He sounds like he has disappeared into the abyss. Hopefully,
30 seconds.
the mic situation. No, you're all right now. All right, excellent.
Okay, maybe I did fall into the abyss.
You went in for just for a moment, though. You know, just checking out the dark side here, the dark moon side. But,
yeah, I'm not too sure what to think of the Arc Warden, really, because I'm not sure overall what the hero, like, usually it's just played for the most part versus those like heavy ranged carries, right? Versus your Terrorblades, your Drows, etc. Versus high art, versus like some of these squishier kind of heroes that can't close the gap on top of you. So I don't know. I hope to learn quite a bit here. It seems like it could be a pretty tough game for that Arc Warden. I do feel like OG, they raised the greed. When they saw greed coming out from Smashers, they're like, all right, we'll just one-up you with greed by picking AM versus Invoker and Arc Warden.
But what does this mid troll really hope to accomplish, I guess, here? Because that's what our panel was a little bit stumped on. They're trying to kind of theory craft, but it's not really that clear, right?
Yeah, they have played it though in the past, right? Like, this is something that OG used to love to play. Just pick it because your lane overall is quite strong, especially into something like an Invoker who doesn't put the pressure onto a hero like Troll. I think Thompson should just be able to farm pretty nicely here. But he can't slow down Stormer too much either. Stormer should be able to just like pull the creep aggro constantly and just get easier harass trades because of that class built in.
Yeah, and on the bright side too, for the side of OG, you know, the lockdown is exceptionally light for a while coming out from the Smashers. You know, usually when you see a troll, you want something that's going to be able to kind of disable him while he's trying to go into his ultimate. Or in the case of an anti-mage, you know, you need that lockdown. You need to make sure that you have some way to make sure that, you know, you slow him down and you can get your hands on him. And that's not really something that we're seeing coming out from this draft here for the Smashers.
Yeah, Smashers literally have like 0 stuns. They have roots. They have Cursed Crown and Cold Snap as their 2 stuns, which are not really the most reliable, and also just completely prevented by BKB. Once, if and when OG does go for those 2 items, it will be pretty massive. As my God, Thompson's actually crushing mid right now. It's 5-3 to the 1-2 of Stormer.
Ooh, yeah, that definitely does not feel good for this Invoker, as he is the one that everyone's got to keep their eyes on and needs to kind of pop off.
Yeah, Troll's strong laning, that strong animation, and that strong base damage is working out for him right now. Does take some time, of course, though. Quasweck's first 2 levels usually tend to be pretty one-sided for the opposing one. And once you get like level 3, level 4, starts to get quite a bit better. Since they have to spend money on regen to counteract you and you don't, you know, last hits sometimes look a little bit one-sided.
And poor Nota was trying to get that pull off, only managed to grab one of the melee creeps in that process here.
Gilgir
Gilgir
will
gets the
happily
last
take
hit on it.
Yep.
Hell yeah. You love to see that. You know, just anything that you can get, any extras. They're already level 2, so No Tail might actually eat some heavy harassment from Gilgir here.
Yeah, that definitely looks to be the case. It takes a couple clicks. Not sure where we're going to see that first blood necessarily, though. Where do you think is the most likely place that we'll see it?
Tofu, very high fit. Nobody. I think we're gonna have a pretty boring lane setup. Just if Tofu gets disrupted out of position and they have the double edge and the stomp and they have enough chase, they'll kill this Undying. But
Okay.
on the other lanes, yeah, I don't think anyone else is gonna die.
It's very, very specific in the way that they had to set that up there. But we are going to see plenty of harass, especially, you know, Ana's going to have a little bit of difficulty, I think, down here. But he has a Warlock with him, so should be able to, you know, get that regen right back up again and sustain here in lane. But mid lane, man.
Yeah, he's doing really well. Those denies are the biggest thing too. He literally just goes for straight damage, right? So he brings the Band of Elven Skin. Now he brings the Wraith Band. Just all about that little bit of extra damage. Poker is limited. We'll connect with a nice cold snap though, and an EMP.
Plenty of harass here coming out from Stormer.
And wow, Sab actually not getting the most last hits, right? He does have 4 creeps coming into him, but so far up top, he's the one who's actually falling behind out of the course.
A little bit surprising there about that.
Yeah, definitely. I think they've gotten some little side pulls and stuff like that that I didn't actually know. It sucks that can't get the career he tried.
An A for effort, for sure here. How often have we seen these shadow demons really pop off in games? Like, obviously, you know, it's picked up mostly for, you know, the saves and whatnot, but I feel like we haven't seen a lot of teams winning with it.
No, definitely not. I saw like Hanskin that one game, of course. That's the one that stands
yeah.
out versus the Void. He had such a spectacular performance with all his disrupts. But yeah, I've been waiting to see some more Shadow. I love this hero. I really do. I think he has some untapped potential, but he's a very specific hero. He's tough to make work because it's a 4 without a stun. So you have to have a stun built into at least 1 or 2 of your other cores. As the poisons are stacking up.
Got about 3 of them over here on both of the smashers. Just gonna back off. Not quite gonna be able to land that 4th one, unfortunately. It is just a game of harass. We do get some nice fatal bonds here in the bottom lane. But again, it's just chip damage. They're just trying to make space. It's kind of interesting, too, to note this time around, they're not bothering to do any sort of like a tri-lane here for Ana over on the side of OG. That's something that they have been doing fairly often in the past.
Yeah, I think it actually hurt them quite a lot in that last game, though. Like, I could understand why, because they like having it when they do have that, like, super hard carry, but Seb was, like, bottom 2 network. Seb had no game because of it, so I like that they're actually helping Seb out, because whenever he does have a game, we see what he can do. He actually can be pretty explosive and help out the team a lot. He was definitely a pretty quiet game last time.
I mean, that is one of the nice things, too, here. Although they are going to set up here with the disruption. Seb get the stomp off. Get a couple hits off, but again, Tofu fairly tanky there, with the fact that he does have those 4 stacks of decay. So just a little bit of harass. Not much mana left on him, though. And speaking of no mana, Topson is also very much hurting in that mid lane in terms of any sort of spell casting there.
Yeah, it looks like Seb, he's just gone for the... I mean, we've been seeing this a lot, but I thought perhaps because they saw if Tofu gets out of position, he'd hold skill points, but he kept shooting in retaliate. Now he does have double edge. They actually find the Arc Warden.
Get the stomp off, plus the double edge. We'll go the throw out that flux over there. Ace just ticking down at last second, though. Saksa gets himself the kill as Tofu's chasing. He's very tanky. He's got 8 stacks up.
Max is impressed.
He's the only one
stacks. Saksa got the 4 stacks on him. He was not careful on Ace.
A little bit of a tornado here over the mid lane. Stormer was going to be able to scout out the arcane room, snap that up. Gonna be honest with you, Fogged, you're having a couple moments here where you just disappear into that shadow realm.
Might be having some internet issues. Sorry about that.
That happens. I know I have been there myself. But if I don't respond sometimes, that's gonna be why. I'm sure you're giving us very, very good insight, though.
No problem, Mox.
Middle lane, though, some of those whirling axes tossed out here by Topson. Stormer just clicking away here. But if we take a look at the net worths currently, definitely seeing a bit of a trend going over to the side of OG.
Okay, hopefully I'm back, and hopefully it's not too underwater. Sorry about that.
It's all right.
Having a couple issues, I think. Yeah, we see like they're actually doing really well on all 3 lanes. The double ring of health on the side lanes, sustaining versus the damage. Seb has Vanguard, so he's just going to be chilling up here as Stampede now online. So Stampede could net them some kills in these side lanes.
Is it worth it to start to, you know, rotate some of these heroes up, trying to put pressure over on the tower and slow down Ace a bit?
No, I think if you're OG, like, I think the onus is going to be on Smashers for the most part of this game to put the pressure on. Because AM overall in this game, he'll win out. There's no stuns for an anti-mage versus Arc Warden and Invoker, 2 heroes he gets on top of. I think it's going to be up to Smashers to really pressure and look to actually slow down OG.
Well, they're definitely putting out the harass over here. Anna having to be careful, though, because that Firestorm, he's sitting very, very low. Got that Ring of Health. Oh, the creeps, though, over here on the side. The Tornado sidestepped here. Oh, still, Stormstormer will be able to get the final hit off, as now No Tail running for his life. So Rasmus just whacking away over here. Stormer needs a little bit more damage, and No Tail's just going to use the Shadow Word to heal up and hide behind this tower.
Anna being too over-aggressive, you know, just comes with his name, I think. Just hitting Rasmus too long. Stormstormer sees an opportunity, he seizes it. And they're gonna get really good damage on bottom tower here with this Atrophy Aura damage.
Radiant's are sending Anna back down here, though, to push them off of the tower. Open up the Tornado EMP into that Pit of Mal, so they'll have a little bit of control. Not a lot of mana here, though, left here for Anna. He's just getting chased down and bullied away from this tower.
Just got back here and he just lost everything. He's down to 300 HP. He's got the heal, but man, he can't blink. He can't actually posture aggressively at all. This tower's dead. Vanguard Underlord takes it for free.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Easy peasy. Top lane, Seb. Yeah, we'll drop plenty of these spark rates over here as Seb just teleports away, though. And again, that is the problem with the draft coming out. Where are those stuns? Is the bottom lane, though, they're just putting so much damage over on Anna. They need another click or two, and he's healing up thanks to that Shadow Word. Looks like he's gonna be able to escape, but definitely doesn't feel good to be bullied out of your own lane.
No, I love that Stormstormer is making these moves. He gives Gilgir the lane since they're not pressuring the AM with the Dark Willow. So Willow's getting XP mid, they take bottom tower, and they're actually slowing down Anna's farm. I really love it. I love these moves from Stormstormer. Playing this Quaswex very comfortably.
And again, like you said, you know, in the past we've seen him primarily just play Exort, so
yeah.
The way that he's making these moves is really showing, you know, growth as a player and a good understanding of what he needs to be doing here. Fabulous, though. He's getting chased after by both of these supports. A couple of these stacks up. Anna jumping forward. You can see the teleports are coming out, but they're not going to get there in time. So Anna will finally have some revenge against the bullies in his lane.
Sucks at an incredibly high level and a lot of farm. Looks like he did farm up a stack, a triple camp at some point in the game, just to get himself that good early advantage. Another thing that we see from some Shadow Demon players that you don't see too often. He can farm stacks really easy. Look at this, he's already starting out a second one, so he will be able to get good item timings on him.
It always feels good when you can do something like this. You're not taking anything away from your cores, you're still getting yourself some, you know, money and XP.
And he's helping No Tail, right? Like,
yep.
No Tail's taking XP from it too, so the Warlock almost level 6.
Working together here. The Curse Crown does proc, but he's gonna get rooted to place the Brambles. They've got the Terrorize. Oh, that is unfortunate indeed, yes. But is gonna need some help as Stormstormer makes his own rotation. Tornado EMP, they get the net off though over here on the Dark Willow. Gilgir just needs a little bit of help. They go and they drop that Chaotic Offering, so they'll find that kill. Now Stormstormer, he needs help, and he's not gonna be able to get it in time because they just run him down, and No Tail gets the kill.
And Thompson's aggressive play pays off. Actually gets them a secondary one with the rotations. And No Tail, he does hit 6 off of that creep wave mid because they farmed the jungle together too. Huge hit, really, from OG. And that's what the mid troll is going to do. He's going to go Ags, and he's just going to dispel these annoying spells that there are a lot of to dispel. Brambles, Curse Crown, Invoker's Cold Snap, etc. All right.
This tower, the pressure is on Soxa in position. There are quite a few TPs coming out though as Soxa starts backing away. Stormstormer, they have a idea that he's hiding around, but they do have a nice deep ward here, so Soxa just running as fast as he can. Does eventually get clipped by the Tornado. EMP, Brambles down, and Disruption comes out. It's gonna buy him a little bit more time and some space, but eventually Stormstormer will slay.
You don't mind that at all. Sox is like, okay, I pulled 3 heroes toward your base. My AM is hitting your top tower. My Warlock is stacking. My Troll is farming. I think OG's perfectly fine with the Deathlight.
You can see now Ana making this rotation up to the top lane, placing some pressure here. They have a nice ward. They do know that Rasmus is nearby. Already placing that down, of course, earlier for Stormer. Nice stacks, though, over here coming out from the side of OG.
Yeah, Seb going to be nicely enabled. Vanguard Hood, pretty much unkillable in this game with this build-up already, and he's going to be quick for the blink, and they see the real Ace bottom. 15 seconds left on his TP, and they have Stampede, too. Ace.
Look at the way they're playing this. Hiding in the tree line.
Scan, it did catch them, so Ace will back away nicely there. Great scan coming up from the Smashers to keep him alive. Would have been an easy kill if they got on him.
Radiant's courier.
And now they can push top too. Stormer pops the Alacrity, starts hitting the tower.
Is under attack.
Nice plays coming out here from the Smashers to make sure that, you know, they're playing at that high tempo. It's a little bit concerned about this when you consider the fact, you know, it is a bit greedy, but, you know, greed answers greed here in this particular series.
It does. This is one of the greedier drafts I've ever seen. Like AM and Troll on one side,
yeah.
and Invoker and Arc one. It's unbelievably greedy.
Pressure on here at this top area. Nice Tornado EMP going over onto Thompson. But he doesn't have any mana available. Does have some wand charges though at the very least, but Stormer still just chipping away. There's only so much that these two supports can really do as well, so backing off a little, just putting pressure down, making space for Ace.
Yeah, and look at Seb's positioning. Like he's just farming the enemy triangle right now as the Centaur. So they're getting this farm around the triangle. They're also farming their triangle. Their AM is farming. Like the Smashers, they have to start putting some pressure on. I like that they're hitting this top tower to force some type of reaction. Yeah, it does feel like they have to start making some moves. This AM is getting too much space.
You know what happens when Ana gets space? Ana goes diving into the fountains.
Especially when it's an anti-mage versus almost 0 stuns.
And a Malice. Another Tornado EMP combo. You have to be careful though. No Tail is standing nearby. Getting into a good position. Fox up picking up the haste.
Haste invulnerability in this game, right?
Yes,
no stuns. As long as he doesn't get brambled, he'll be fine with that haste to run away. Ace will port bottom and push out Ana from that bottom tower. The rest of Smashers still looking to try to pressure this mid tower. They want to get some type of advantage versus the AM because they know he doesn't want to show up. They know they're playing effectively at a 4v5. He just can't show up with an illusion.
Big tanky boy versus big tanky boy over here with Seb and Rasmus.
They just like ran into each other a little bit there for a second. They're both having fun with it.
I mean, what are they going to do to each other? Everyone else just has to stand back. They both have healers on their side.
He denies the range creep. There you go. That's how you get him to jump there. Yeah, I love seeing this. They just can't push. Both of them tank heroes standing against each other. Ana on the high ground.
They have the... Oh, they did it! They managed to go and land the fear!
Just what I was waiting for.
A nice play here coming out from Smashers.
Great Sunstrike for the vision.
All right, well, that's a little time here for the Smashers to be a bit more aggressive, knowing that is not farming during this time, and more pressure in the mid lane. Saxa trying to put out some of that poison.
Seb has Blink Dagger. This could catch Smashers a bit off guard here. They're really trying to push forward for this tower. Tomb is down. Tomb's down.
They don't have tops in here, though. They've got the bubble up.
No.
Thrall's getting very, very close up to that Axe. Rasmus whacking away. Tower will go down in mid. And Smasher seems satisfied with that. So if we're going to take the opportunity to drop a ward or two off to the side. There it is. There's the Axe on the Troll.
I mean, he's got so many different things to dispel, as we were saying before. You know, all of the Willow spells that are annoying, Cold Snap, whatnot. So it's going to be a pretty strong pickup. We've seen him do it in the past. And someone on the panel said this. Troll's going to go Mage Slayer. He's going Mage Slayer.
Yeah, I think it was the Banana Slamma Jamma who said, just get a Mage Slayer. Easy.
He's done it in the past. Sure, you're playing versus like only magic damage. There's really just like no physical that's coming out on the Hellbear Smasher side. So if he wants this to be a deterrent, just to make his anti-mage go berserk in the game, sure. Go for this, then get your shard later on. Get a rampage for your AM too. That's what the ability is called, not the 5 kills.
Tofu is trying to, and he does eventually break the smoke. You're okay with this, I think, if you're Smashers, because this is, of course, your position 5, who's still alive, actually. They haven't managed to kill him off. A very nice Tornado EMP. The disruption comes out here from Sox. They're going to try to buy them just a little bit more time here. We'll get a TP rotation. Drop the tome. Again, when you have nothing to hold people in place, they're just able to just saunter on out and reset after this is over. Although Rasmus is waiting, looking to see if he can find one. Does run into No-Tail, so they'll get the Pit of Malice off, and they'll go and use the Stampede to run him out. They're not willing to take this engagement, not at this time.
All time for Ana. You know, he's got Battle Fury. He's getting this farm online. He's going to start getting to scary points for Smashers pretty quickly. See Stormstormer, he's queuing up the Midas. He knows he needs to be able to scale into these later stages versus the Zayam, but no, OG's just kind of dancing around them for the moment.
Radiant are scanning.
Tempest double down here, just clearing up some creep waves as the real ace, of course, is in the top lane.
That was the nice thing about Arc Warden. At least you're denying some farm from the enemy carry too, because you are taking farm from the scary side of the map. I'm still just wondering when the Arc Warden is ever going to be able to like turn up and fight a 7.
Oh no, but I mean, this might be it. He might come in to come fight now because they've got the Curse Crown, they've got the Bedlam. Yeah, in comes Ace along with Stormstormer, and there you go. There's your answer to your question, Fogged. Right now.
Hey, still, he's keeping himself way above on that net worth for sure. I'm just wondering, like, when the fights do kick off, like, how's his positioning gonna be? It's gonna be hard because they're playing at the Stampede, so I feel like it's gonna be so crucial for him to stay so far in the back. They have so many ways to get on him, and he is so fragile. So I'm gonna have to be watching, in particular, like Rasmus just blanketing him. Rasmus and Tofu have to protect this Arc Warden with their lives.
Well, I mean, we talked about this in the second game, right? We saw the Abaddon coming out, and it's very, very difficult, of course, for the melee, well, yeah, the melee heroes to be able to go and just get these saves out, get the heals. But Tofu did a great job in the last game, so.
And Soul Rip is just way longer cast range, so you can play further away. That's another D ward. I didn't talk about it in the last game, but because it was like Smashers had such good fights and everything, but my god, the ward control by Tofu in this series is unbelievable. He seems to always know where OG's got their vision. He's winning the warding game in this series so far.
It's always fun to watch. I know Windstrike also does a lot of very unusual warding coming out and seem to have a good grasp of where the most common spots are.
Yeah.
No-Tail doing a little bit of his own dewarding though.
Vision really can be everything. You know, No-Tail, he does have one sneaky ward right now inside the enemy triangle, so they do watch Stormstormer farming, and they are going to be aware, if they do see it, that he's gone from Biden. So, greed raises greed.
They're invading, though. Tofu showing himself immediately. It's slowed down, and there's that Pit of Malice, the root coming to play. Go and pop the Flesh Golem, but it's a nice follow-up with that Chaotic Offering, but over on the back line, Stormstormer, nice disruption coming out, though Tofu is just circling around this area, drops that tombstone, and he's just surviving somehow during all of this here. As Thompson, he's trying to just beat him down, but it's proving to be a bit too difficult as Thompson eventually does fall. They can't take down Tofu. He's too tanky, now No-Tail is just trying to shuffle away as fast as possible. They've got the Atos, though, over here on Rasmus, so they should be able to get this kill on No-Tail.
What a boss, Tofu. Oh my god. The Deafening Blast to protect him too with the disarms, but mostly him just saving himself. He gets the Holy Locket, he gets the extra heals from the Soul Rip 1 or 2 times, and beautiful boom positioning.
Ooh, Seth.
It's just really nice.
They have the disruption at the very least. They'll protect. But he blinked forward? I don't know. It was a little, yeah, I don't know. We'll go with it. We'll roll with it. But he definitely put himself in a bit of a vulnerable position there if it wasn't for the Shadow Demon.
Ace, he's got his timings continue to grow. He's got the Mjolnir done. He's got Butterfly queued up. That's, okay, I haven't seen that one. Not that early, especially not on an Arc Warden, not second item. And he's got Growth Bubble, so he's got a nice, probably the best neutral Arc Warden for most of the game.
He's mine.
Yeah, Butterfly, that'll be interesting if he does go for that.
No one really wants to pick up MKB over there, but Seb.
It's true.
Poking away. You drop down all of those lovely brambles as Tofu's just poking at him. They'll use the Terrorize, force him out, but that goes right back into another circle as Thompson is indeed here. Trying to protect him. The Atos placement. They have a lot of just roots, like we said before. Stormstormer trying to interrupt there with a nice throw. Seb, it's taking a long time, but eventually they do manage to slay him.
He just couldn't move at all. My God, like just brambles the poor zombies beating on him as well. Thompson goes and starts hitting to him, and he's like, yeah, see you later, Seb. You're dead.
I'd rather not.
Yeah. But still, Ana is still farming on the sidelines of everything, though. It's still that scare, this anti-mage threat with your two cores who are very vulnerable to AM. It still is excellent core matchups for this anti-mage, all things considered. Even though Smashers, they've got this 7-4 lead, you still have to keep that in thought. You have to be prepared for the later stages and have some type of plan for the anti-mage when he joins the game.
This is interesting here. Do have the double damage over on Ace, but there are quite a few people off to the side. I'm not sure if they're quite aware of this, although walking underneath that ward, of course, will make them very aware. Ilki's career.
Start the
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Bubble up. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure if they're going to be able to quite make it there on time. They're on their way. I don't know about this, though. Final hit. Yeah, Ace is going to be the one who snatches it up, though. The Radiant get the kill on Roshan. No tail immediately evaporated, but he's already dropped the chaotic offering. As Ana trying to jump in onto the back lines, and everyone's sitting low, but they don't just quite have enough damage here. So they'll turn right back around. Down goes Saksa. The deafening blast over here onto Ana. Over on the back lines, though, Thompson. He's trying to man fight over here. Just going to be able to get the kill onto Tofu. Rasmus also sitting over into the bubble. The jump forward here coming up from Seb. They've got their eyes over onto Ace. They should be able to blow him up. Oh, Curse Crown, though, buys just a little bit more time. As down he goes.
And they do. This is what I was worried. It's like when the Arc Warden shows up, sure, they get Roche, they get this Aegis and everything, but what does an Arc Warden do? And they just jump on him. They get on top of him, and Ana just freely attacks him. So they do this great play to get that, but you see the way the fight goes down. Thompson's unkillable. This anti-mage is uncontrollable, so he jumps past the fight to force reactions, and you see all of them running up to chase him, which just puts everybody in a really difficult position because they're all fatal bound together still too. So Thompson wreaks havoc, Ana just keeps jumping and going back in and waiting for a second.
And that's usually how you like to see Thompson playing, you know, in a lot of the games with the puck. He's very, very skirmishy, although do try to make some plays over here into Ana. Again, the lockdown is a little bit lacking here.
Is under attack.
Yeah, he's committed he's fully committed for Butterfly on this Arc Warden. So this evasion, it'll help when this anti-mage does get on top of you and all that, but I'm still just feeling he's so fragile. I don't know what he's gonna really do once they get on him. Sure, he's gonna be tanky versus physical, but they also do have a good mixture coming out.
They do indeed. Seb in the top lane, just gonna mess with that Tempest double. But Ace dishing out a decent amount of damage. Does time out.
One or two more fights like that, and Smashers may just lose their window of this game. Really, I don't know what I don't really know how they can, what they can do with the Arc Warden though to apply more pressure, or just to not really worry about the anti-mage. That's the one thing. It's like I'm really trying to think about it. They just don't have the control.
All right, here Tofu will break that smoke. Good force staff away. They're still hunting though, hoping they can get their hands on Saksa, but they'll use the Stampede.
Dire's middle
But Ana's over here in the mid lane, and he just continues to be a nuisance.
Yep. He's just going to cut these waves. Seb also cutting top, gets a good chunk of farm in. Bottom, they're starting to pressure this tier 2, but Glyph is forced.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I really hope I'm going to see some wondrous thing from the Arc Warden, because I feel like this is building up like this nice network and everything for them, but it's
Radiant's
for what? Like, how's he actually going to be able to fight toe-to-toe versus AM? And okay, so he's got BKB queued up after. So I guess it's just going to be the group up around the Arc Warden mentality then. Just so he's this heavy right clicker who's immune or resistant to a lot of that physical, and then they just rally around.
Yeah, they're bringing the fight over. They'll use the Tempest double up first. They'll go and throw out some of these Tornadoes, EMPs. They go and they drop the Chaotic Offering. We'll push back a little bit, and they do have some nice fatal bots on the back line, but again here, Ato's getting tossed out by Rasmus. Ana the entire time, though, still just pushing in those waves over in the mid lane. It looks like he is forcing it. Yeah, I guess. I mean, it kept them away from their buildings.
Radiant are scanning.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it definitely did the job for Ana to continue getting the split push on.
Doesn't have any of the backup there either. Look, it's a bit greedy here, considering he's going to walk right into Stormstormer. I'm sure it just gives him a little poke.
Yeah, he's nope. It just continues to be the same thing for AM, right?
Yeah.
So AM versus just literally like 0 stuns, so he's got so much freedom. Waiting for the double, actually, to finish TPing up top. He's going to try cleaving it down a little bit. Does have a butterfly, though, so he actually can't just fight toe-to-toe versus that arc.
There's a double damage run available over here on the bottom river spot.
That's pretty huge.
Oh, they get the deny off, though.
Okay.
It's just the illusion. Now they know. They're smoked up and nearby. They're hunting, they're combing.
On a commits,
Radiant's
he had
top tower
BKB
is
queued up.
under
I think
attack.
he was contemplating it, but he just goes for the full Scotty. Playing versus 2 ranged heroes, the Scotty's just that much more beneficial. If he gets on top of them, they can't move. Does mean he won't have true strike for a long time versus that butterfly.
Find an opening here over on the troll. Tornado AMP tossed out. They're backing off, though. Rasmus, though, starts going forward again. Trying to get some information here over on the side of Smashers.
OG doesn't want to fight under Tombstone, especially when it's on high ground like that. They avoid that situation. Ana continues to hit some.
Words are a lot of information over here. Go up. Looks like they're going to pick up a smoke over on No Tail.
Everyone's just poking their heads inside that pit. We still have about 3 minutes though until we find out how long it will be respawning. Smashers still looking for somebody to try to catch. Just really trying to apply pressure on the mid and bottom ace.
Yeah, they're just not letting anybody kind of show up though. As
Radiant's
Ana
middle
continues,
tower
just
is under
pushing out the
attack.
waves. And when there's just a lack of lockdown on the enemy team, he's allowed to use. They will force the issue a little bit though. See, they put the Underlord very far forward here, just trying to put some damage down. Urge coming out. They're just sieging.
Stall. Delay until the anti-mage feels like he's got a good moment to jump in. Stormstormer, we have to watch his mana pool. You gotta watch your mana levels when we are playing versus that mana void.
Saw the disruptions coming out. Rasmus putting down another root. Again, it's just a slow siege. They have to be careful though. They don't stack up too many levels of the shadow poison. Just circles on circles here.
He's got the top tier 2. He's working on the tier 3 now.
It's just, they just keep, it's just 2 different people hitting different bases. My goodness. When are they going to hard commit on this? Okay, there it is. There's a big chaotic offering dropped in. Good stuff here from Seb as they get them all just linked up over here on the side. Rasmus taking a lot of damage. Is going to get saved here by Tofu. Gonna try to group up right back again. They get off a nice terrorize. Everybody gets in the car and they are out of here.
Are under attack.
But the Rax is
They have to go deal with Ana though. And where's your control? Who's going to grab him?
My God, that was scary for a second. I think all 5 were bound together, right? The Fatal Bonds, I think,
Yes.
clicked on every single one of them.
And they were clicking down pretty hard. Tofu came in clutch with that save though over on Rasmus
Yeah.
with the heal, because otherwise I don't think they're making it out of there if their driver's dead.
Yeah, it's like 700 something healing or more that comes up from that Soul Rip, plus in combination with Holy Locket too. So it is crazy how much it is going to top these heroes off when they
There
are
it is.
pushing, but be careful.
Big Fatal Bonds, the stomp from Seb, and look how low during all of this that Rasmus gets.
Dire's
Imagine
bottom
if the
tower is
anti-mage
under
comes in and
attack.
gets a mana.
Oh my God.
Fear that's going through Smasher's side. If he mana voids the Invoker there, it might just be a rampage.
Dire's bottom
So,
tower has
They'll be having to be
fallen.
careful as this anti-mage is almost catching up to the Arc Ordnance farm. He's going to have BKB, so now he probably feels nice and ready to join inside of those fights every single time.
And that's pretty scary considering how well OG has been managing to take these fights without him.
Yeah, they're just stalling. And now they've got a pretty big item also for Thompson. He's got MKB, so if he gets inside of that Arc Ordnance bubble, he's going to evaporate.
Well, they won't have the chaotic offering for a little bit longer here, so perhaps they'll bide their time. But I'm sure Roche is the next big objective for everyone. Going to be the big fight. But smoke coming out from the side of Smashers. They're hoping to catch someone. I'm sure they would love to catch the anti-mage, but I don't think that Ana is going to allow them that here. So
It feels like that window is starting to close pretty quickly. This anti-mage is troll. They're starting to get a bit too big. They have to keep pressing this forward, keep looking for these kills, keep playing around this Roshan because he's gonna carry this game if they don't close it out very soon.
Rasmus throwing out that pit. Immediately the stomp forward though, the initiation. Can they blow up Rasmus fast enough? A good heal coming out, nice terrorize as well, but they've got the BKB over here on Ana, who's on the hunt. He does spy out Rasmus, trying to get off as much damage as possible. Pops that Manta, turns back around the side. Can they kill him? Yes, they'll take down Rasmus. That's one form of lockdown that is removed now from this fight. Two technically when you count the Aegis. Back now, they're not happy about this.
Tomb's almost gone too. And that's a big window. That's a big thing for Smasher's fight that they're not going to have available.
Smasher's going down very, very quickly. Nice stomp coming out on Seb. Over onto 2 immediately, and there's going to be the stampede. They're trying to run away. Rasmus over here on the corners, trying to split it up. There it is. There's the chaotic offering. They go in. Rasmus trying to man fight. He's trying to get something, trying to get the final hit off, and he does manage. It's going to be Rasmus who grabs the Aegis. And now disarm over here, over onto Ana. The disruption coming out though might buy him enough time, but they have the root following up with the meatball. They'll be able to take down Ana. Thompson already falling during this fight. Smashers.
And Cheese. They only got the shard on the anti-mage. A huge fight from Smashers, just pushing into the pit.
My God, Seb trying to do what he can here, trying to just cut this wave. Stormstormer doesn't have a whole heck of a lot of mana on him. Again, does have Cheese. But the most that Seb can do right now. They still have a creep wave though. Tofu's courier. Oh, jeez.
It's 60 seconds now, and they were all, the scared things too, they were all 5-man fatal bonded again in that fight. They just ran into the pit and got on top of the anti-mage, and they get the steal. Rasmus, quick fingers.
Look at that.
Blast from Stormstormer, just the push.
Perfect time.
So clutch.
I want to know what the comms sounded like during that fight. I imagine they were absolutely wild. But again, initiation, the sap back and forth here. Tofu chasing them down along here with Rasmus. They even get the whip out there, trying to keep Sox alive, and they just can't seem to do it. They're diving a little bit hard here over on the side of Smashers.
They don't have a creep wave. Creeps still aren't quite here. The back door kicked in.
Buy them a little bit more time. This is all they need. They're grouped very tightly together. They have to be careful of Seb jumping on in. Damage is coming out though. Again, those fatal bonds. Only Gilger, I think, not affected over here. Another tornado tossed out. Thompson doing what he can, trying to push them back. Ana's going to be up in a couple seconds here. Rasmus starting up the car, getting that engine nice and warm and running as they will leave. The damage is done.
Nice. Yeah, that was a really scary moment for the side of Hellbear Smashers, but they do succeed with this push-up and just honestly getting into the rush. If Ana gets an Aegis there, completely different game on their hands.
All right, we've got the Bloodthorn online now here for Ace. So if Ana uses that Manta too early.
He had to use BKB versus the clone. This Smashers, I think with this you smoke immediately.
Yeah.
No BKB on AM, you go look for this fight.
There it is.
You're gonna do it.
They do get the Acceptor online now for Centaur. Be able to reduce some of that damage, but hunt is on. They're scanning. They're hoping that they'll get their hands on an anti-mage who's farming, but they're grouped up pretty tightly over here on the side of OG. Ana hiding in the tree line. Rasmus. Smoke breaking. Gets the pit off immediately. Can they follow it up? Can they keep him in place for long enough? The silence. Tossed right back in again. Try to go up with that terrorize. And they just immediately recede back into the base.
Yeah, timer has been almost missed. There's still 30 seconds left for the BKB timer, though. Stormstormer showing himself. Ooh.
The rest of the team is nearby. Ana has to be careful here. Blinking out. Stomp coming out from Seb, landing over onto Rasmus. Tofu taking a lot of damage here. All the mana is basically used. They'll go up with the chaotic offering, and they get some of those. Oh, the meatballs tossed out here by Stormstormer, but they're just dodging away a little bit too much. Ana disarmed over onto the back lines. BKB will come out as they're going to try to fight with Thompson over on the side. Force Step coming forward here, trying to keep Soxa. Soxa's not looking too healthy over on the back lines. So Stormstormer will fall. Seb trying to run away, and again, that's the BKB. It's back up and running. They're just going and trying to cut him down. Ace, he's man fighting as much as he can, but will eventually fall. Tofu also falling. Rasmus, he's back up. That Age has already been burned. This is not looking good for him, as he's the next one to fall. And somehow Seb surviving during all of that.
Tag Stampede really coming into play. That extra little damage reduction, but mostly, even though they have this Aegis, we see the power of the anti-mage. These resets and repositionings, and also the tomb dies instantly at the start of the fight on the high ground. They just all focus fire it and then they just get some great
Dire's middle
resets.
tower is under attack.
Look at this chaos.
He gets the BKB off in a pretty clutch moment because he was gonna get insta mana voided there. But look at everyone's mana. Look at everyone just bound up together on the side of Smashers, kind of panicking, running around. And then you see these two, Thompson as well as Ana, just to follow up with Seb. They have it perfectly to get on top of Ace.
Dire's middle barracks are under attack.
That just might be
Dire's
it.
middle barracks has fallen.
Yeah, there is, oh, jeez.
Dire's middle
That's
tower
rough.
is under attack.
Yeah, they just walk into the base. They don't have buyback.
Dire's
Though
top
we're going to have Stormstormer back up Ace soon as well. So perhaps they can, you know, throw out some tornadoes, try to push them off. But it's, looking rough now here.
Yeah, Anti-Mage is fully hitting his stride. You know, this is why we were saying like there's just no stuns versus him. Like on a couple, you know, did get picked off the 1, 2, 3 times, but it's an Anti-Mage game to win when it gets to these stages. If Smashers isn't itemizing like hexes and a lot of different ways to actually control him, this AM is gonna just completely win this matchup, as we have seen now in these last 2 fights. He is able to actually get on top of the Arc Warden, where Ace just can't do much about it.
Do you think Ace should have gone something a little bit harder for Lockdown instead of the Bloodthorn? I know he's got to be the primary damage dealer, though.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I don't know. Honestly, like they have the Atos and stuff like that, but it's this draft that, you know, that's why the Anti-Mage is picked, is
Right.
into such limited disables. Like Stormstormer felt he needed BKB, or he just might kill his whole team with Mana Void, which
Yeah.
it's appropriate.
Dire's bottom tower
That makes sense for sure.
Radiant's top
OG
tower
feeling
is under
very
attack.
strong. MKB also the Anti-Mage, so he's got the way to just eat the Arc Warden now. Much easier.
For this positioning, they've got the Chaotic Offering up in just a couple seconds. Seb looking for the opening. We'll get the jump immediately over onto Tofu. They're going to blow him up. Lotus coming out here as Ana backing out. Again, this is the kind of chaos that we like to see coming out from OG. A little poke here, a little poke there. Back up, reset. Although Ana goes in right on the back lines. He blows up Ace. And there it is. There's the Chaotic Offering just going to town over here. The cleave damage is too much. Rasmus next to full. They took out the Tempest double. Tofu have bought back here. Seb waiting patiently. Stormstormer does have a nice deafening blast. We'll push them back just a little bit. Try and stack up some of that poison, get the vision. They do not have their carry. They do not have their big tanky frontliner either. Over here on the side of Hellbear Smashers, the meatballs tossed off. There's the BKB coming out here. Now Stormstormer, he just can't run away fast enough. Thompson has too much damage. As Tofu running back into the base. Buyback now from Stormstormer. Gilgear using that Terrorize. Just going to try to push back on him for a little bit, but it's going to be coming right back in again. Don't know what to do on the side of Smashers here.
Dire's bottom tower.
Lose Moxie. That's what happens. I mean, Anti-Mage, it really is. It's such a big timing thing. Like Smashers, they did such a good job of pressuring most of this game, but this Anti-Mage is just getting a bit too much, and the rest of the heroes were also still having pretty okay games on the side of OG.
Stormstormer, he's trying pretty gosh darn hard, but they have the detection to stop the double edge. Tofu's trying to keep him alive, but he just can't do it. So they go and they just chew up that tombstone. Got some more of these heroes back alive, turns around, they get the root off over onto 3, but where's your damage? Where's your ace? He's not here just yet. All right, the Bedlam comes out here over onto Nota. They won't be able to get that kill, but Rasmus next falling yet again. As you can see over on the back lines, OG, they've had enough. They're ready to just go to sleep or maybe play some pubs. I'm not sure. As Thompson just whirling around with those axes. Ace is up. He's trying to man fight him over here on the side. But, you know, while this is going down, the creeps, they're hitting the buildings. The heroes are hitting the buildings. They're waiting. They've got a bubble. Buys them just a little bit of time again. But they just can't seem to get OG to leave their base. There's bubbles on bubbles and circles everywhere here. Fog. Ana, he just wants to finish this up. They're hiding over the back lines. They get the idea they can see Ace, and it doesn't even matter. There goes the Ancient, and OG take the series.